Weekend. Coming at you.
Yo, the big 4-0.
Finally, man, we made it.
Episode 40.
Our 1 year anniversary is next month.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So that tells you how many weeks we've missed, because we should have 52 episodes by then.
I don't think.
But we're only going to have like 44.
That's not right.
Yeah, it's 52 weeks.
I know,
a year.
but I don't want to go by that.
Okay.
I want to make up my own weeks.
So that just tells you how many we've missed.
That's okay. We have lives too, man.
Although we're probably going to double up this week. So
I think we're going to try. Once our 1 year's up, we'll try to be a little more. We always say that. I don't give a shit. We're going to post how we want to.
Yeah, I think I've basically like.
Can we be a little more proficient?
Well, I've conceded the fact that we're liars on here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we're just real.
We're just real.
We're just real people.
It's like when the mic is on, recording is going. Like it's like whenever you're talking to a really attractive woman, you'll say all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
You know
Speaking of women,
but as soon as the mic goes off, I forget.
Yeah. Speaking of women, I got the hookup today at lunch.
Okay.
So Crunk and I went to Chipotle. Obviously, not sex. Went to Chipotle.
Okay.
To get lunch. Well, they know who we are when we go in there. They knew you when we go all the time. Crunk goes every day. Yeah, we're this guy. We got in, and my favorite lady that works the drive-thru, she was like, "What are you two doing in here?" Like, 'cause we usually go to the drive-thru, and we're like, "We're mixing it up. Just smile." I said, "Just smile that we're here."
Right.
So she made our food. We get to the checkout, and he was like paying, and I got up to do my points on my little app, and I was like, you guys should do double points day like Jersey Mike's does. And she was laughing and she checked me out. She was like, "You're good." I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "No, you're good. I took care of it." I was like, "Oh." I said, "Well, thanks."
How about that?
So we eat. I don't tell Crunk anything. So we're eating. And I got a big fucking bowl because a tortilla on the side. I was killing it. We get in the truck and I was like, I didn't want to say anything, but my lunch was free today. He was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Sorry, ma'am. I was just putting out the vibe." I don't know. It was really flattering. I don't think she's a listener, but if she was, thanks.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. It's very flattering. And it had nothing to do with, it wasn't, I'm not saying it was flattering as in like it was any kind of
Is
like.
it the blonde I'm talking?
Yes.
Yeah, the blonde. Yeah.
She's just really cool.
Yeah, she is. She's nice.
All you got to do, people, is just ask people how they're doing and just strike up a conversation.
Yeah.
Talk to people. Quit being weird. And sometimes it works out with a free lunch.
I suppose.
I used to do it at Panera. I used to flirt with two ladies that worked there. One was older, one was younger. And I used to get free coffee. Kylie said I was a Panera whore. But, I mean, sorry, it's good. All I did was talk to people. I don't go and like, check this out. Like, I don't do like a weird thing where it's like, you know where the creamer is, and I like flex. I didn't do it. I was just, I don't know. Just talk,
like,
man.
I mentioned this to somebody too. You're like probably the only, I can't think of anybody else that I know well enough to say this. You're
Be
like,
nice. If you're going to say something fucking mean.
I'm going to say something nice. Is that you're the only one of the only people that I know that is like genuinely enjoys talking to complete strangers.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to do it. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like if you're not talking to somebody,
I get really uncomfortable
you get
and I don't like it. I get
you
mad.
don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like
I just
it's like
I don't know.
like a tick, like an OCD.
I just like to talk all the time.
I mean it's a good thing,
It can be.
but
Long car rides, it's not. So I start calling people. Like I actually gonna like get a leather bound phone book and just start. I can call this bird. Okay, hey, what are you doing? Yeah.
I told you, buddy Drew starts doing that now because he listened to me talk about that.
It's a great idea.
So now, whenever he's like going back and forth to work or he travels for his job, sometimes
check on people, man.
He'll he's going to the airport or whatever. He starts calling me now. Too.
Yeah, dude, you gotta check on your boys.
Yeah,
it's simple conversation. I miss just phone calls, man.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still text. We talk about that. Like, texting is still the thing, obviously. But, like, phone calls are just genuine. I don't know.
I think Instagram is my main form of communication these days.
Speaking of, I'm on the break again on that, by the way.
Are you on?
Yeah, like, officially. Like, it's set to deactivate April 28th. Except for our boys, like, our podcast one. I still left it, obviously, because I don't want to delete it.
You're not going to be in the boys group?
So, here's my plan. It's starting to, Instagram is, I've talked about it before on the show, I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram, especially right now after that shooting in Nashville too. Like, it's just, like, not only that, but like me, myself, like.
Which we're going to talk about that here in a
minute. I have a problem to where, because my day-to-day is so, like, boring, if you will, as far as work goes. It is. It's
a lot of sitting around.
boring. So my problem is I gravitate towards groups of people that do really cool shit for their jobs or whatever. So what happens is it's a form of jealousy, but I get so consumed by it. I was like, you know what? I just need to. I need to get away.
It's
from
like a fat girl looking at hot girls.
At
some point you're just.
And then I'm thinking to myself like, I've tried where I just take a quick break, but I was like, do I really? Besides like the people I really like talk to are going to text or I'm going to call them. I don't have to have and me like shooting messages to people. I mean, I had to come to Jesus with Kai last night about this. I walked by. She said, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm just going to spill this out. I want you to listen. I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. Here I go. Buckle up." I was like, let's just face facts. I was like, I'm a washed up weekend warrior motorcycle rider who used to race. I said, I have a regular job. I said, that's probably as far as it's going to go. I said, my days of being Instagram famous are probably not ever going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I'm just a realist.
You're so enthusiastic about it.
I know. And I still am on the deep end. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's still there. I just had to put it towards something else.
Okay.
I told her, I said, I'm messaging people that, let's face it, I'm not going to California to ride dirt bikes with anybody anytime soon. It's just not. I'm not going to do it. It's just, I'm not. I was like, I'm just another fan. I don't create anything really. So I don't really offer besides enthusiasm and whatever. I said, so I just need to like put this aside for a little while. So I'm doing a social media break where I don't want it right now.
Okay.
I just want Facebook. So I have everything set to deactivate at the end of the month of April. If I decide to keep all of it, I can reactivate it all and rethink it. But I'm going to take for real. And if I end up, things are great and I'm more focused on other things I should be putting focus towards, great. Then I won't have them anymore.
Okay.
So,
I
have an addictive personality.
Me too.
So
I have
a hard time being like, hey, I'm just going to look at this every now and then. No, because I will literally be on that bitch for 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, it's a part-time job of just aimlessly scrolling or messaging. I messaged Joe Rogan last week. He has 15.6 million followers. I messaged him for a friend of mine that I think he should have on the show. Is he going to listen? Is he going to get that message? Probably fucking not. I messaged another guy, Tyler Posey, the guy from Teen Wolf. They're really cool dude. He's really into punk music. By the way, his albums are fucking cool. If you don't listen to his music, download them. They're really good. I know you're not going to. You hate music. But he's like old school, like punk rock, like Blink-182. Like he likes all shit. He likes that music, tattoos, and motorcycles. I was like, fuck, we're best friends. You don't even know it yet, Tyler. Yeah. So I sent him a message because you posted something. I was like, hey, do you think he saw it? Of course he didn't. He didn't see it because he didn't respond. Just like the guy on the show, I know he hasn't got my letter yet because he hasn't responded. That means he hasn't gotten it yet.
Oh, shit, they're stickers.
They're stickers. So I've sent stickers and sprinkles and glitter, and I don't get anything back. So then in turn, you get mad about it. You're like, well, fuck you, and I've done all this. Yeah, so I just...
Yes, and that's the thing.
That's my problem.
That's funny about it is that your response to them not responding is completely irrational.
Completely irrational. Like, could you imagine the amount of messages something like they get? We've talked about it before. I'm not going to get on a tear about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm taking back. I'm going to try to put some energy in some other things.
Okay, so I'm with you on that. I'm with you on because you're right, and I feel that too. Is that
because what if I don't?
Imagine if you took all that 5 hours of just mindlessly scrolling and like blasting out DMs to the ether. If you took that 5 hours and actually used social media in that 5 hour period to cultivate a brand that actually helps you.
Exactly, but I won't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. Is take a break. And actually think about like, how am I going to monetize my hobbies or my dreams or whatever,
right,
and actually work toward that, and then you can use social media to leverage that.
Sure.
Right?
And my other thought was, you know what, if I see a real difference, because the problem I ran into is after I did that, the first hour I was still reaching for my phone as if I had it.
Yeah,
I put it down. It's so bad. That's sad.
It's like having a ghost limb.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be. So I'm like, you know what? Let me stop. I'm going to give it for real the month. And if I feel great about it, I may not go back to it again. So be it.
Yeah, but see, knowing the job that you have, you're still going to have. You're just going to end up binge watching shit.
There's Hungry Shark. I can play Hungry Shark. There's tons of levels.
See, now you're speaking my language. So I have the similar problem. I know this to be true.
These are really good. I don't know what these are. But
I end up getting caught playing games for hours on my phone.
Yeah, they're not even good games.
They're not even good games. I'll end up scrolling Instagram and on Twitter and shit like that too. But then I switch over to the game, then I'll switch over to social media, and then the game, and so before I know it, it's bedtime.
I know, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, I do that same thing, too. So the games can get you caught, too.
Yeah, it does.
Where you spend too much time. But I agree with you with the social media thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't... I don't think that we... I think we know this, but more people need to realize this and actually, like, just be aware of what's happening to us. Is our generation specifically, millennial generation and younger. I think the younger generation is starting to maybe get it a little bit more. The Gen Ys or whatever.
I hope.
But our brains were corrupted by all of this technology and social media, and we didn't know how to handle it. It was all still new, and we didn't know how to handle it. No generation before us knew how to navigate this because it was new for us. Correct. So we couldn't get any advice from the old people besides, wow, what you doing on that screen? You need to get outside. Like, okay, all right, Grandpa, get the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah,
whatever.
Like,
this is cool. Pap. This is like, all right.
Yeah, look at this girl.
It's just because you don't know how cool this is.
Look at this girl's ass.
Right.
You tell me.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Right.
And then not only that, here lately it's been just it's so negative. Especially that shit that went down, obviously, but it's just man, it gets me fired up.
Yeah, and we should talk about that. I guess that's a good segue because the social media. That's another thing about social media that and just our access to information, how information just flies around so fast, and everybody's got a fucking opinion about it.
It could be all be wrong,
right? But
it still flies through. That
it makes when tragedies strike, it just there's just an element to it now that just makes it so much worse than just the tragedy itself. Because you have the tragedy, the event that happens, and then you'll have all of the fucking griping and arguing and all this other shit going on about that incident, and then they'll start arguing about the arguing, and then now everybody's just fighting each other. And about something else that unrelated to the tragedy at all. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
It's just it's at some point we gotta chill out with some of this kind of stuff. I'm susceptible to it too. After the Nashville shooting, I did get on Twitter and was poking around. I'm mostly an observer. I don't really tweet at people or tweet back. I don't really send out really a whole lot of tweets.
I got on Twitter.
I'm just an observer mostly.
Yeah. Well, because for the good thing about social media on those platforms and Twitter as well is you got more up to date information a little faster. Like I actually saw they had the weapons that were used in pictures in the first video when she came through to the school, so you could actually see it. So Twitter had that. So of course I got in the comments. I wanted to see what people were saying to one another.
Yeah.
And it was 50-50. A lot of dumb, a lot of good, and then in between.
I would agree.
But for you, people listening,
that's fine. Of course, I'm sure everybody's heard. But we do have some international.
But this is we do have some. It was the 20th, obviously this year, the Covenant school shooting at a Presbyterian school in Green Hills, Nashville, where a individual, 28-year-old woman by the name of Audrey Hale. Decided to go into that school that morning, and she killed 6 people, 3 9-year-olds and 3 staff members. And then police put her down at 10:27. The entire incident was over. But you can go online and look at the video footage. They have the actual when she went to the first floor, when she shot through the two sets of doors, shot her way through, went to the second floor. And then, by the way, hats off to Metro. Incredible job. I watched the footage. That sets the bar very high for any of the department. PD. It was awesome. To put it, they have their whole body cam footage released, and I went through, and I know very little, but I went through and then watched some other people analyze the video, and a lot of people had nothing negative at all, obviously, to say, but it's not like watching that happen in Texas where people were nitpicking what should have been done. This was more like, this is what needs to be done, and these officers responded the way it should have been handled.
The general take that I saw amongst most everybody, of course you're always going to have their assholes.
You will.
But the general take that I saw was that they set the standard for how you handle this
Exactly.
situation.
And it was done, you can watch the footage.
And not just the actual raid itself.
No.
And handling their business, but also releasing the body cam footage immediately.
Yeah, it came yesterday morning, right? Correct? Yeah.
It was a day. It was literally
well, they did say,
within 12 hours.
Metro did a good job too, keeping everybody informed. They released it, and they were like, body cam footage should come out
totally transparent
Tuesday, or maybe possibly. Well, they said Monday night, possibly Tuesday morning. And so
here's why that's important for people, saying, well, what was that? Why does that matter? Releasing body cam footage for that. Here's the reason why that's important is because whenever we're in the dark about what goes down about that kind of thing, then everybody starts speculating.
That's correct.
Okay? Everyone starts speculating, and we get little tidbits of information, and people start creating narratives about what's really going on, right? What they think is really going on about the person's motives, you know? And then also, then you have even some of the crazies about talking about this being a false flag operation and all this kind of shit about saying, like, what's his face? Fucking, they got Alex Jones got in trouble because he kept going on his show talking about how Sandy Hook was crisis actors and it was a false flag operation. It was a psyop. It was all faked. It was televised and made up, publicized. He got in trouble for that, you know, and then he actually was been to court and they're going to like sue him for it for like a ridiculous amount of money. It's almost kind of absurd how much money they're suing him for. But if more information comes out, transparency to the public, then you're not going to have that.
Yeah, you create your own narrative. They're creating they're showing
the narrative now. You can't create your own narrative. It is now the truth is out for you to see.
Yeah, and make your
own
own
video, right?
Yeah, so I watched it. I watched the whole thing, and yeah, it was really impressive. The first officer, you know, of course, was fairly calm as far as his speech goes when he addressed that teacher outside, and she was like, "Here's what's going on." He was like, "I need 3. They're on me now," and they moved extremely quick, all the clear, and then finally got up to where she was. And I didn't know it till later after I read farther was that she apparently shot at them from a second floor window.
She did, and they ran into.
She made contact with the police car, so they got out, pursued up. And really, when the time they got second, it was quick. They heard gunshots, LPVO up front. 8 shots were fired between the 2 officers. Done.
Yep, one with a rifle, one with the.
LPVO is a low power variable optic. So your long gun goes up first.
That was the one that shot first at her, and then the second officer.
She was reaching for a
service pistol.
She was reaching for a weapon. Yeah,
and
it was
finished her
It
off.
was pretty incredible. I mean, obviously, it's not incredible to watch someone be shot, but for the acts that were committed, it's
whatever. She can burn in fucking hell.
Yeah, so that went down. The whole thing, actually, from what I've been reading, went down in 13 minutes. 14 minutes after call 911, she was put down. Yep. Obviously, we wish it was faster because...
So when that information first came out that it was female, my ears perked up because I was like...
Mine did too, because it's not normal. Super
that is
rare.
Very rare. I can't... Yeah. Can you think of another incident where it was a female shooter?
Someone brought it up to where... I think it was less than one it was something crazy.
Of all shooters.
Because obviously most of them are male, obviously.
Men are
usually
aggressors.
it's not it's not a thing. So the only thing that was weird is, of course...
Especially school kids and in elementary school.
Exactly. So the lady in question apparently sent a message that morning at 9:57, and I'm just catching I'm catching everybody up in case you didn't know all this, and then of course you can research it yourself. Sent a message, basically was like a suicide note, and said that, hey, I'm going to kill myself today. Some bad things are going to go down. That person she messaged actually notified 911, and then she went to, there's footage of her driving to the school and then shot her way into the doors.
Right.
And then, of course, everybody freaked out and said she was using the assault weapons. One of those was actually just a 9mm carbine. I've used one. Mm-hmm. It's not an assault rifle by any means. It's just a carbine. It's a break-action carbine. It folds up to a backpack.
Well,
the other one was an AR pistol. So she did have one.
Yeah, if someone that's another good thing about the transparency of it, of showing pictures of the weapons to the public so they can see what was used.
That's right.
And the fucking weird thing about that is the stickers that were on that thing.
So I tried to look those up too, and I'm sure they'll go when they go in. I
didn't know what they were.
I didn't know what they were. One of them was Aiden, and I don't know if that was her.
That was her
male name.
So that's something we should mention as well, and everybody knows. And
I got her info right here.
There's another element to this. Anybody that goes in to a school to do harm to children is a piece of shit. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if you're. I do not care if you are any other time in your life you're as close to Jesus Christ as possible. If you do that, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah.
I don't care what your ideology is. I don't care I don't care how old you are. I don't care anything. I don't care about your background. I don't care that your mommy and daddy was mean to you. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about your preferences. I don't care about none of that. You do that, you're a piece of shit in my mind. You deserve everything that you get.
So
okay. So that being said, you hear a woman like I said, my ears perked up. I'm like, that's odd. Okay, something else is going on here. Generally, women don't have that tendency to go shoot up kids. It's
right.
You know what I'm saying?
More of a nurturing.
Right. Yeah. It's just not in their nature.
Yeah.
You just don't see that. But as soon as they came out and said this person was trans-identified and identifies him, here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. I'm not saying that this person is already in a fragile mental state because of that.
Yes.
And there's something else going on.
Correct.
Right? First of all. Two, here's another thing that I don't think people are asking about this, is someone who is trans-identified, probably going through hormone blockers. These are chemicals, that your hormones that you're injecting into yourself. They're not naturally produced, right, in those levels for your sex.
Just to clarify, people, I don't want to cut you off, but just to wrap this real quick, this thing, was a female at birth. Audrey was, and then
right. That's what I'm
going
saying.
By male. I just want to make sure.
She's
you're good. Go
female.
ahead.
She's identifying as a man. She's a trans man, is what she's saying.
Go ahead.
But apparently, it was only recent.
It's very recent. That's what it says. It was purely just
But
go ahead.
Here's a question that nobody's really asking that I'm not saying is a normal, say normally women do not do this, but so you're trying to make sense of like, well, why would a woman do this? Especially 28-year-old woman. We're not talking about like a disaffected teen, someone who's very highly impressionable. We're talking about she's 28 years old. She's already gone through life, you know what I mean? So where she's not, people can still be impressionable when they're older, but it's weird.
Gone through the
for a
dumbass
28-year-old woman to do this. It's very weird. So she's already if she identifies as male, goes by he him, has got a new name Aiden, and supposed to her birth name Aubrey. Was it Aubrey or Audrey? Aubrey.
It's Audrey.
Then obviously there's some other mental issues going on here, right? Obviously, and then you compare that with if she was taking any kind of hormones or any other kind of medications. I think that's another thing that people don't think about is most of the time these shooters are. Number one, in some sort of bad home environment. Two, have some sort of mental issue. And three, taking psychotic drugs.
So apparently it says here, Police Chief John Drake said Hale was under care for an emotional disorder at the time of the shooting and had legally purchased 7 firearms, including the 3 that was recovered off the body, between 2020 and June 22.
Right. Apparently,
according to her father, she thought that she sold them. They found shotguns at the house when they raided the house, obviously, and one sawed off and whatever. Yada yada. That's I don't care how many guns you have. The thing is what you brought up.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that this is a very troubled individual,
right? It's not like just some random person, normal adjusted person, emotionally adjusted person is doing this thing. Of all of these shootings that end up happening, those are usually the common theme among all of them is some sort of issue at the home. Like a home life problem. Either dad was not there, abusive, something, and they have some sort of mental issue that's already been diagnosed, like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, whatever. Any kind of mental issue, right?
Right.
And the other thing that is most of the time common between these shooters is because of their mental issues, a lot of times they're on psychotic drugs. They're on these fucking hard mental, mind-altering drugs, can create chemical imbalances, and if you pair it with substances you're not supposed to be pairing them with, it can really fuck you up.
Well,
and that's the common thing between these things, and I just don't understand why we can't talk about that. Like that is the most obvious fucking thing about it.
But it's
the conversation goes all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it goes straight to gun violence.
Yeah,
it's right. Literally skipped. So what I don't quite understand, not understand, was also when they found that manifesto of this was a premeditated act.
Yeah,
this was
a lot of not all of them are, but most of them are.
No, we're just talking about this particular case, mapped out. And apparently had other targets, but this was the easiest because obviously keywords here, less security.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why our dumbass president who we have right now, I'm sorry, is pathetic. It's actually embarrassing.
I know.
The first thing is we have to do more to stop gun violence.
I know.
Well, everybody says that, but the only solution I hear is take them. My biggest question...
But the thing is that they won't go as far to take all of them. They just talk about the scary AR. And since she did have
a militaristic style weapon, of course. Here it goes.
And they keep saying AR. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. This doesn't exist.
It's an armament rifle.
I just want everybody to understand.
That's not what that stands for.
Google this. If you Google this now, you're going to find maybe some liberal-leaning websites and people talking about it being an assault rifle, but it's always in quotes because it's a colloquial term. Yeah. It's a term that they have made up.
Yeah.
There is no such thing. There is no actual classification. Of assault rifle, it's not a thing. Anytime you see the word assault rifle, I swear to God, you look this shit up. Anytime you see someone referring to an assault rifle, it's going to be in quotations.
Yeah, because it's not a thing.
Right, because it is a term that is not an actual category. It is just a term that they use. Not the gun manufacturers. I'm talking about people.
Yeah,
that have an agenda. And it's based off of the original AR-15 platform, which the layman, I even talked to somebody the other today or yesterday that thought that.
Yeah, it means
they thought it meant assault rifle.
It means Armalite.
It's an Armalite rifle model 15. That's what it is, and that weapon has never been in military service ever. So when they say it's military, it's a weapon of war, that's actually false. It's never been used in an armed conflict. Okay, it's a civilian weapon. It's a civilian.
It was actually made in the 1950s.
Right.
It's developed. The company Armalite made that
We've had
platform.
it forever.
It's actually a sporting rifle.
Right.
Made for hunting.
Some people think the AR means automatic rifle.
It
also
does not.
false. The thing is, I hate having this conversation with people about the and here's why I hate having this conversation about having where I get to where I have to explain about guns to someone that doesn't understand what these terms are and what they mean and how they function and what they actually are. Here's the reason. I hate this conversation. Here's the reason why that fucking conversation doesn't matter at all. Period. End of story. Is because it's not going to fucking happen. You're not going to get rid of 300-something million guns that are in this fucking country. It's not just on a practical level. I don't care what politician is talking about it.
I don't care.
It's not. Listen to me, everybody. Listen to me carefully. I don't care how much you talk about gun control. It's not going to fucking happen. It's just from a practical level. How anybody that's saying that they can get this done, they can do something, they can ban these weapons. Please explain to me how that can be practically
he's
done.
gotten so dumb as far as we're going to confiscate him. I was like,
right,
good luck.
Fucking people. You don't understand what you're asking. You're talking about just imagine this. You're talking about law enforcement going around from house to house, taking the legally purchased firearms from people, and you think that's all going to go smooth? And I'm not saying that people should, fight back. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that whenever you do that, you are increasing the chance of shit going wrong. Okay?
Oh, you thought COVID lockup was bad?
Right. Especially after COVID, people are already on edge about that kind of stuff.
Idea.
Right. Exactly.
You have no idea what you're asking
and
for.
We're not talking about just some good old boy country guy down the road that's going to be, you ain't taking my guns. I'm not talking about that. There are demographics that you would not think are gun-toting patriots, if you want to call them that, in every community. The black community, Asian community, every community has there's a subset of them that are, you would think are gun nuts. Like, you wouldn't think that they, so can you imagine, just imagine law enforcement going into, a black neighborhood and confiscating all guns that they have legally purchased. That black community is already on edge with law enforcement because of the past 5 years or 6 years or whatever, because of all the, shootings, and it gets publicized on the media, and they twist everything, and they've got everybody up in a frenzy. And then you want to send law enforcement going around confiscating guns? Are you fucking crazy?
You got to figure the average is 3 to 4 guns a home. Home. Sales went up. What was it, 700 something thousand? It was something astronomical.
Yes. And the thing is, even if you did a gun buyback, say you did a gun buyback.
They tried that with $100 gift cards.
Right.
Give me a break.
If you did a gun buyback thing where people felt, and they do every time there's a shooting that happens, I see video after video of these people that think that they're doing some God's work by destroying their rifles or turning it into law enforcement.
You're a moron.
And it's not. It's a pointless exercise. Okay. Short of the government going around and taking up every single firearm that exists in this country, the conversation about gun control is, to me, just a completely pointless exercise. Completely. It's not going to happen. So I say that because if practically that's not going to happen, what options do we have? Because we got to do something. We do have to do something here.
Yeah, well, my vote, because evil will do evil things, regardless of weapons or not. I'm sorry, everybody. From what I've been reading and such, the common thought is, if we take all the guns, we're less likely to have these shootings because they won't have access to these weapons. Great. I don't know if you know it or not. That same individual could have went into the school with a shovel, or a bat, or a handgun, or a knife, or a bolt-action hunting rifle. I can kill a 9-year-old with a shovel. Evil does evil things. She could have drove a box truck through the school. And we've seen it at one of those events where someone drove a truck through the crowd.
Yeah,
these people are going to keep doing these things because they're fucked up.
Right.
They have a lot of problems.
Yep. And it's a disingenuous argument for anybody to bring up, like, well, we need – because what I'll hear people say in response to that, well, yeah, but if we ban the assault rifles, then it will create less carnage, less damage, less people will die. Yeah, we understand someone will go in with a handgun and they'll – because we can't ban all handguns. We don't want to take away your handguns. We just want to take away the scary military rifles. What I'm saying, here's my point, is people will say that. That will be their response to that. But here's the thing. All you got to do is tell them. It's a disingenuous argument for them to say that. Because all you got to do is say, okay, I'll make you a deal. We'll ban all assault rifles. Every single assault rifle gets off the shelves. We'll go and confiscate them from every house. You win. We'll get them off. The rifles are gone, right? We'll get the scary weapons away, right? I'm willing to bet that the next time there is a school shooting with a handgun, you'll be calling for that too. To be banned. Absolutely. You will not stop at the assault rifle.
It's easier.
Because, and also what they're implicitly saying in their argument is that we don't want to do anything else. We just want to take away the assault rifle. We're okay with 1 or 2 kids being killed. It's whenever there's like 3 or 4 that gets killed with an assault rifle, that's when we get up in a tizzy about it. But it's the 1 or 2 that get killed by a handgun, which is actually false, by the way. Some people with handguns in past mass shootings have killed more than some people that have done mass shootings with rifles. Okay, so the actual weapon itself makes no difference with the number of killings. It literally makes no difference. You know what makes the difference between how many people are ended up getting killed in these actual mass shootings? The speed in which law enforcement can take that fucker down. That is what determines how many people end up getting killed in these mass shootings, is the speed in which a good guy with a gun can take down the piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with high-capacity magazines, how fast they can swap it out, high-powered rifles, how many handguns they got in their pockets. It doesn't mean – none of that matters, okay? Short of the government going around and taking every single firearm out of people's homes and off the shelves, this will continue to happen.
Yeah, it'll get worse.
And to your point, even if you go any further, you get rid of all the guns. The UK is actually having this fucking problem right now. Got rid of all the guns. Most people, it's very hard to get them to get a gun. I think at best they can get a shotgun, right? And it's for sporting and hunting.
Yeah, we have a friend who lives there.
It's tough. Yeah, it's very hard, right? They have a fucking knife stabbing epidemic that's going on, okay? And people are now where you can't have a knife in public, okay? I just watched on Netflix. There was that show You, and in one of the scenes, the girl was trying to get through the gate to the tunnel, or what the fuck they call that, the tube, right? It's the subway system or whatever.
I got you. That's what I figured.
And she was trying to get through there, and she had a knife, and it was like a little piddling like fucking steak knife. It was like nothing knife or whatever, and she dropped it, and the cop saw it and it was like all upset about it because it was. I'm like, if I dropped a knife in public out here in the States, people are like, oh, here's your knife.
You get made fun of if it was little,
right? I get made fun of it because being too small.
That's not a knife.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, the tool is not the problem.
No, it's the wielder.
So if we just, like I was ranting about earlier, pragmatically, it's not going to happen. So let's just, for sake of argument, Let's take that off the table. That we're not going to do anything about confiscating guns or getting rid of the scary AR-15.
Let's just say you're having
it's not going to fucking happen.
How would you solve the problem?
So what are the options that are left? How would you solve this problem? Because it is a problem.
It's a problem.
Right? We're having
It's been an increase the past year.
We've had past several years. We've ever since. I mean, I don't remember really hearing about a school shooting until Columbine. That was kind of like the first one in everybody's mind
that was the
that you can think
one.
of. That's like the first school shooting that everybody can think of, right? And then we've had some, and then all of a sudden now it seems like we just have them a couple times a year.
Yeah,
major publicized
very regularly.
Now the media will lie to you and say that we've had like 130 mass shootings this year alone, and it's only March. That's a fucking lie. But here's the reason why. You got to dive down into it, and I'll just go into this real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this. You got to dive down to the numbers, okay? When they say they classify a mass shooting as a stray bullet from a nearby firefight and with a gang, or somebody firing off in a field, and a stray bullet hits a window of a school in the middle of the fucking night when nobody's in it, they'll classify that as a school shooting. Okay,
makes sense. You got to start fudging the numbers,
or it's at a school, and it's even during school hours, and two affiliated gang members shoot each other. Right? That's a gang shooting. That's not a school shooting, because I think in everybody's mind when they think school shooting, quote, school shooting, it is going into a school with the intent to harm children.
Yeah.
That's a school
That's
shooting.
what I think of.
Okay? That's what people think of. So whenever the media says we've had 130 of these this year and it's only March, they are intentionally being vague about that number and lying to you, because they know when you hear school shooting, that's what you think. You think that 130 times this year alone,
there's been someone shooting up
there has been someone going into a school with the intent to harm children.
Yep.
And that's false.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not true.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was 130 mass shootings or school shootings. Either way, someone going into a building with the intent to murder people.
Yeah.
Okay? And innocent people. But a gang-affiliated shooting is not the same thing. I think we all understand that. Someone firing nearby and a ricochet or a stray bullet end up hitting somebody or a window or whatever near a school or a government building or church or whatever is not a, quote, mass shooting or school shooting. We know that. So I don't want to spend too much time on that, but just know you got to dive down in the numbers. Because these people lie to you.
Yeah, they do.
Right. You got to start thinking
it's the media, bro.
Right. So back to what's our solution? Okay? We're not going to get rid of the guns. My thing is, I think it's twofold. I think that we do have a mental health problem in this country. It's obvious that we have a mental health problem. But that's not something that's going to be solved overnight. It took us decades to get to this point to where everybody's fucked up. It's going to take us decades to where people are less fucked up.
You know that, like, nowadays it's cool to have a therapist.
Right.
It's a flex to have. I mean, there's been a massive emphasis on anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder.
Dude, people
all this
brag
stuff.
about having depression.
About having a therapist.
It's like a joke.
Anxiety is a big thing. They call them my happy pills. I'm on my happy pills instead of just instead of just handling your shit. It's like, well, I'll just take these pills to make my problem go away. And I can say that because when I went to the doctor 3 weeks ago, when I was having all those issues, you know what I mean? I told I was just stressed out, all this stuff. He's like, my doctor even looked at me and said, hey, yeah, I could give you stuff to basically tune that out. But what good's that going to do in the long run? We're going to throw pills at everything? Yeah. It was very straightforward. I was like, yeah. And I told Kylie last night, I said, if somebody talked about therapy, I said, it's just like a flex. Like, right. Like, how about just talk to your, anyways.
And to that point is, we are more fucked up. There's more mental health problems in this country than ever before. And we've also have more mental health drugs than ever before. I don't think the drugs are helping. I'll just say that.
No, it's a mask. You're covering it up.
You're covering it up. Maybe let's just throw this out here. Here's some other coincidences.
Yeah.
I'll let you draw your own conclusions, but here's some other coincidences. We have more mental drugs or medication for mental illnesses than we have ever had before. More drugs are flying off the shelf.
We advertise for them.
They're fucking everywhere. Off-label, over the counter, and illegal. Drugs are it's everywhere. It's just basically part of our culture at this point. to your point, people have fetishized and glamorized low-level mental illness. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And then now we got to the point where things that used to be fucking hardcore mental illnesses, people actually like or brag about, like not just the transgenderism, which we used to call gender dysphoria disorder, which is still a thing. I don't know why that just
it's in the book.
It's in the book. Like, and people, but now they say, well, it's not a disorder unless you also have depression. I was like, that makes no sense. Depression's a separate thing, but whatever.
Yeah, you got to have quality. You got to have little things.
And then
to
even goes so far, if you've gone in the depths of the internet like I have, is there's people that go on there talking about their alters and the system. They're talking in glamorous terms about being a paranoid schizophrenic and having multiple personalities.
Yeah,
and they talk about their alters.
Yeah, it's a
like
flex.
It's a flex
to be Sybil.
It's so right. So you got that going on. You got crazy mental health problems going all over the place, right? Too many drugs, illegal and legal, right? Also, we are the most unhealthy we've ever been. We're the fattest we've ever been. We don't move at all. And also, the food we eat is absolute garbage. The seed oils and all that bullshit is fucking killing us, okay? All of that stuff's happening, and we wonder why things like this kind of happen, why we're seeing more unstable people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You think that maybe has something to do with
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned this today to my dad. I was talking about parenting. You know, kids stress you out. Kids are stressful. If you have children, you know it's stressful. I told him straight up, and I've told Kylie this before. I was like, you know what I think? She's like, what? I said, I think that you go back we're millennials. Our generation is millennials. I said, you go back to when our parents were parents, and I'm just speaking of my own friends, your parents, my close knit group of parents. I was like, we're not good parents. And I say that like this. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying people are raising their kids wrong. You're a bad parent and you beat your kids. Like, we do the best we can do. However, I said, we are so fucking distracted and busy with everything. I said,
and self-absorbed, and self-centered,
and you are, and we're selfish, and we're too high speed,
focused on our fucking feelings.
And I said, what's happened too is that in my dad brought up a point. My dad was like, yeah. He said, when we did this, when somebody said, what do y'all do? We're parents. We're just parents. We work and we're parents. But now, granted, their access was different than ours. But we are literally just so, and I'm guilty of it. It's high speed. I have people that I know that put their kids to bed at 6, and they don't ever see them because you're so worried about what am I? And I don't want. I'm going down the pipe on something else.
I'd be pissed.
I'm going down the pipe on something else. But when you mentioned as far as the current state of this gym, because she's in the same generation we are. That's the same group. This shooter. But yeah, to your point, like it's just.
Our generation is so self-absorbed.
Speaking of what you were saying is people are, and that also I think plays into this whole fetish on mental and therapy. Yeah, it's because you've got too much fucking things. You're just
right.
So
people are normalizing things that they don't need to normalize.
But to your point with what do we do? That is all needs to be. We're the only country that advertises medications.
I know.
I see. It's insane.
So you can do some stuff like that. And the other thing that they do too is. I would agree with you on that one, but I don't think that. I think that's not something that we can do overnight.
It's not.
That's going to take. It was a long road to get here. It's going to be a long road to get out.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's not something. But what can be done faster than that, and this is what I think can be done.
I know where you're going.
Is what do you? And this is if you want to take it. And I've thought about this a lot. Like this shit's eat at me for days since it happened. Mm-hmm. What do you do? If you have and I took it down, somebody mentioned it at work. I said, okay, let's just take it to basic elementary. Let's say you have cattle or sheep or any sort of herded animal that needs protection. What do? You do a sheepdog, or you maintain it with a rifle, and you watch over your flock.
You fence it.
You put a fence. Your protection, right? Nobody bats a fucking eye when somebody does that.
No.
It's the same thing you can do for a school, right? Mm-hmm. Most of your public schools have an SR officer. It's one guy.
Yes.
It's one cop, right? So when I saw this shooting happen, I was like, okay, cool. So if I was sitting down at the table, I was like, okay, since we just literally spent billions of dollars to fucking Ukraine.
Yeah.
And God knows wherever else our money goes that we don't know about. Gender studies,
we
whatever.
spent like close to $10 trillion since COVID.
Right.
$10 trillion.
Cool. So let's say you've got tons of combat vets. I'm not talking about the ones who have PTSD. I'm not talking about, I cannot speak for that, but you have some. My father-in-law is a prime example. 28-year combat vet, retired, still fully capable. You have tons of men who have kids and grandkids in these school systems that would love to have a job where they can protect these schools. And you can pay them a nice salary. Or guess what? If you don't want to do that, how about you can do all metal doors? You can reinforce, but I don't understand why we're not doing tighter security at schools. I don't understand. It's not hard. It cannot be that fucking hard. I'm telling you, it cannot be. I've been to clubs that have hired security, armed security at nightclubs.
Well, someone pointed out is that we have armed guards pretty much at every government building except our schools. And make no mistake, people, our schools are government buildings. Okay,
absolutely.
If you ever been to a courthouse, a government building, they got fucking armed guards. You got to go through security. Every government building has security.
Do you know who?
Except our schools.
Do you know who has an armed guard here in town that you wouldn't fucking believe? Gas and Water
Department
has an armed guard at the payment center.
Yes, federal and state government buildings have armed guards.
Why can we not? Okay. Why is this so hard to understand?
I don't understand what's so hard about this. That is a solution. You know, is it going to stop every single mass shooting from a crazy person from killing one child? No. But is it something that we can effectively do overnight? Yes. Yeah,
but back to what you said. You know what else it helps? Response time.
Response time is the number one
time
exactly.
For the law enforcement or whoever to get on scene even faster because you're stopping you're preventing that person, whoever that person is, man, woman, it, whatever.
Yes.
From you're helping that.
Yes.
So my thing is too, bulletproof glass, metal doors. If you do a Dr. Lockett when we were in school, you remember that when they used to lock the classrooms up? You used to practice that. Everybody got in the corner. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, how about put a little money in the school a little bit? If the state, if the government needs to do it, go through and replace your classroom doors with hardened metal doors.
Yeah.
Deadbolt them. Guess what? One way in, one way out.
Right.
That lady this lady freak bitch that just shot the school up, that rifle that she shot that double pane glass, all that stuff out with, that was a pistol caliber rifle that she shot that out with.
Correct.
Right. Pistol caliber.
Right.
That was a long handgun.
Right. It's a fancy long looking pistol.
Do you know how long it would take her to shoot through bulletproof glass doors?
Oh, no.
She never would have made it to that fucking building.
Oh, no.
And I know the argument's going to be like this. Well, that's sad. You know what? You're right. It is really sad. But guess what? That's the world we live in. And do you know why people don't attack certain buildings? Because they're guarded. Do you know why that bitch didn't attack the other school she had planned? Because it was too heavy security.
Right.
No one attacks places that are heavily security.
Yeah. So I want to do a little math here real quick, because one of the things I've heard, because I've made this argument before, is like the fastest solution to reducing these school shootings down to effectively zero. You're still going to have some, but the thing is when you start putting armed guards, at least one, somebody trained with a weapon on school premises, and there's going to be some other stuff you're going to have to do too. But let's just talk about just putting an armed guard there. No telling how many shootings that you would prevent, because that person knows that guard is there and wouldn't even target that school. They were going to target one that doesn't have that guard. Okay, so you're preventing them in that way. And then say they don't know. Maybe say they either do know and they think they can take the guy out, or that they are unaware that he's there and they attack the school. The fact that he's there greatly increases the potential for them to take the person out, slow them down at the very least, communicate with law enforcement when they get there, and effectively take this person out faster if they do happen to get into the school. So him being there is better than him not being there. It's that simple.
It's simple.
It's that simple.
It's presence.
I don't understand.
It's presence.
And so anytime I've made this argument, I was like, well, we can't afford that. You know, I mean,
yes,
schools are...
Yes,
I'm going to do some quick math. I just did it while you were talking. There's effectively 120,000 schools between private and public, so you'd have to do this across the board. If the federal government came down and said, we're passing a law, federally mandated, at every school there has to be at least one trained armed guard at the school at all times during school hours or whenever people are there.
Sure.
A full day. So
I understand.
An hour, 8 hour day.
I got you.
Okay. That's 120,000 schools. Okay. Say we pay this person an average, because it's going to be different cost of living at different places. So I just kind of averaged out. I figured 50,000 is a fair amount for a 40-hour work week.
Give or take.
Where you're during school hours, you have one armed guard. Say 50,000. That's $6 billion. $6 billion with a B. Okay. That's a fucking drop in that. It would be annually. We spend $6 billion a year. I don't know if you know this, but our federal budget is almost, I think it's like $7 trillion now. Is our federal budget.
Perfect.
Okay. So,
$6 billion.
$6 billion is fucking nothing. We piss on $6 billion. Okay. In this country.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember they bitched about, Trump wanted like $6 billion to finish some border wall and they fucking flipped out about that. And then they go around and spend $7 trillion. Get fucked with the money argument. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Easiest fucking thing to do. Instantly can be done tomorrow. Congress can pass a law that says federally mandated all public schools, private schools, if you are a school, you have to have an armed guard there while kids are present.
There you go. You
Done.
could actually,
Done deal.
To even raise you could actually do 2. You could hire 2 and pay them a great salary.
Yeah, and now we're up to $12 billion. Still a fucking drop in the bucket.
Boo-hoo. And not only that, I want them easily identified as far as in that school, and I want kids to know that these gentlemen, men, women, whatever, are here to keep me safe and a friendly face, just like an SR officer. Because that was another argument. A parent said, I don't want kids seeing someone in a vest and a long gun and this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want my daughter. That's his name. This is who he is. These people are here to keep you safe.
Right. I don't give a shit. And if you don't like that, because we keep hearing this from other aspects of the school system, if you don't like that, then you just take them out and homeschool them. Right? Because that's what we get told whenever our kids get taught shit we don't like.
This is the world you live in, dude. This is it.
That comes down to the point.
This is the way it is.
This is the world we live in. You can bemoan how we got here all we want. We just did a little bit. At some point, we have to face facts, and we actually have to come up with practical solutions. And are there going to be trade-offs? Yes, there's going to be trade-offs. Yes, now we have to spend more money. Mm-hmm. Yes, now we have to have a armed presence in all our schools, and it's going to feel prison-like. The other thing, the aspect of this that you would have to incorporate, which will cost a lot of money up front, and maybe some annual upkeep too, is they're going to have to your point, harden the schools, the buildings themselves. You're going to have to start sealing off some exits and things that weren't there before. You're going to start creating single points of entry. And whenever, because of fire, whenever doors go out, you can't come back in. You got to go back around and go through the single point of entry, right? You got to start doing stuff like that. It can
be done.
You got to start developing protocols to where when school is in session, nobody can slip in through the back door because they put a brick in because they wanted to be able to get in and out. You got to start actually having protocols in place and sticking to them, because you can talk about guns all you want. You can talk about mental health all you want. This is our reality, and we have to start looking at practical solutions that we can actually do
instead of bickering back and forth about gun laws.
Stop with this pie in the sky bullshit. It's not going to happen. Gun control to the level where you would be satisfied is not going to fucking happen. Okay. We can talk about mental health till our fucking faces are blue. It's not going to happen. Even if we started now, we're not going to get out of this mental health problem for decades, okay? It's not going to fucking happen. Hardening the schools and having someone there to protect the kids is the only solution. I can't stress that enough.
I've said it. It's the easiest way. I don't care what it costs.
I don't care.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? You think that confiscating hundreds of millions of guns across this country isn't going to cost more than $12 billion in resources? It will. Okay, so don't tell me that this can't be done with the money.
It can be done.
Okay, it can be fucking done. But the thing is that everybody wants to use this as ammo to attack each side with positions that they already held before the shooting happened.
That's correct.
They're just using it as more ammunition for a position that they already had. They're making arguments that they would have had whether the shooting happened or not. Okay, so that's how you know that someone's full of shit is whenever they've had this argument and they want to get rid of guns regardless of the shootings. Because I guarantee if someone was talking about gun control, if I told them, it says, what if I could snap my fingers and no school shootings would ever happen again? Would you still want to get rid of the AR-15? They would probably say yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not about the school shootings. It's not about the kids. It's because you have an ideological disposition, opinion, that you don't like guns, you don't think people should own them. It has nothing to do with the fucking school shooting. That's the majority of people.
I'll tell you what's frustrating. I had to unfollow a lot of folks through this too because I knew it was coming. I love that people use this horrendous act as a way to bash Tennessee and be like, you know what doesn't cause these? Drag shows.
Oh my God.
The trans, because apparently we passed that bill where minors can't receive any kind of medical thing that it has to do with.
Yeah, they banned basically they banned the practice of medical transition of any type, surgeries or blockers to minors, and they also banned drag shows in public where kids would be present, so you can't do it.
But I like how this happening has flamed that up to where people are saying that didn't affect any of this. This didn't hurt anything. If this and that one bitch that you sent me said that if that law hadn't been into play, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Do you realize?
That's blackmail.
Do you realize how idiotic you sound? Mm-hmm. And I love how they're like, we got rid of all this, but we didn't get rid of the guns. I'm like, do you guys? I was like, I don't understand why you don't. Even from just a basic point, anytime something like this happens, who stops these shooters? Obviously, law enforcement. Well, they're armed. Of course, they're okay with cops having all this, right? Which is fine. Mostly, good Samaritans have stopped a lot of shootings because they have a firearm. I just don't understand. I don't.
Train.
You meet violence with violence.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right, and that's the thing.
It is what it is.
That's another coincidence, I think, and that's also created this problem, and it's created a whole host of other problems too. Is the feminization of men?
Oh God,
in this country.
Yeah, I know.
And that's also over decades. Is that we've basically castrated men in this country to where I'm not talking literally. I'm saying that we have even guys that are naturally masculating or masculine. It seems that we have told men that their time is over. It's now the future is female. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. And my thing is the future is both of us. I don't understand why it has to be one or the other. I don't understand that shit. It makes no sense to me.
Because they don't need us.
Because if the future is just from a biological level, the future is both of us because it takes two to tango.
Was it
to make kids?
Was it Jordan Peterson or Matt Walsh that said that women say they don't need men? He says, but when a war breaks out, you will fucking need us.
Or the entire society in which you live is reliant on men.
Who's gonna fight the wars?
Not even just the wars. Like, who's going to go up on the fucking poles to keep the power on? Who's going to go down in the fucking sewers to make sure your toilet flushes? You know what I'm saying? Like, our entire society is run by blue-collar men. Straight up.
Oh, yeah, I know. If you guys haven't, though, seriously, look into that shooting. Find out your own information on it. We did our best. I mean, that's coming from, I've used Fox. I got some on local news. I got some on Twitter. It's all out. Nashville has done a tremendous job of posting information. I mean, you got it.
Yes. Give it up to them.
It's those two are, smear whatever you think. And prayers out to those families. I could not imagine getting that phone call because I have a child too. It was, I couldn't imagine.
They were young guys too. I think one has only been he was on the force for like a few years. The other one was like 9 or something like that. So, relatively young guys, and, they knew what they needed to do, and it
was pretty incredible to watch.
Damn the consequences.
It really was incredible to watch.
Right?
It was.
And so that's impressive, and every single law enforcement agency across the country needs to take note. Okay? But also, I do not ever want to see, after seeing how well the Nashville, Metro Nashville police handled that situation, I would be supremely disappointed, and I think the whole country would be, if that did not become the standard response. If we see another Uvalde, Texas, where they're just sitting outside chilling, or Parkland, where that one officer was just hanging out waiting and not going in. And actually in Uvalde, Texas, we were talking about this today. Not only did in that one, I'm pretty sure, maybe misspeaking, but I'm pretty sure they actually had a shootout with the perp before he went into the school.
So
And they were holding back parents and
trying to go in.
And one of them was an off-duty cop was trying to go in. Like, dude was fucking trained, and they wouldn't let him go in, and his wife ended up getting killed.
Word on the street it's funny you mentioned that, and that's not funny, but a officer actually had the perk in his sights with a rifle at like 136 yards out and could have taken the shot.
Right. Was told to not to.
So, and at that distance, that's nothing.
Yes.
I mean, that's not far.
No.
I mean, you're talking about a weapon capable of 400 or 500 yards out. So it could have been handled. Anyways, I wasn't there. I'm not a cop.
No.
However, from a leadership standpoint, that could have been handled. That was
right.
a piss poor example. But anyways, back to this though. And I think also what should be taken into light is playing those videos amongst these people that bash cops and defund the police and go fuck yourself. Watch that video and you tell me if you want to do that job.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to do that job.
I mean, I was stressed watching it. I mean, it's
yes.
Say what you want. There's good. We've talked about it before on the show. Good, bad, whatever.
In every job.
But it was incredible work. It was amazing.
It was. And
for what it is.
And the thing is like, if you sign up to be a law enforcement officer, just know that this be prepared that this could be something that you'll have to encounter. That's what pisses me off so much about those past ones, like Uvalde and Parkland, because look, I get we all do this where you get into a job and it's comfortable and you're mundane, and even if law enforcement officers are the same way, those two guys I think were like in the twilight of their career anyway, and they were kind of all about to retire, so they didn't give a shit probably from day to day, right? And then some real shit happened and they weren't prepared, they weren't ready for it. Okay, just
called being complacent.
Just know, and most law enforcement officers know this. But I just don't want to see that again. After seeing what Nashville did, there's no reason for that. There's no reason to do anything less than what the Metro Nashville Police Department did. Anything less is a colossal failure in my mind going forward. So props to them. Some other little tidbits, and I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but some other little things that I heard is, there's 3 teachers and 3 kids that got killed. Mm-hmm. I heard a little tidbit that one of the little girls that got killed, she was 9. She was killed reaching for the fire alarm. Yeah.
Yes. Well, the alarms were already going off,
right.
too.
She was trying to set off the fire alarm and was...
Because once she shot the glass, the alarms went off.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
So she was going for an alarm.
Yeah.
Because she thought that would help.
It's sad.
And, so shit like that, and I'm sure those teachers, I don't know the exact details, but I'm sure those teachers were...
I think one was janitorial staff, and then one of them was the head of the school,
one was head
and
of the school.
Was another one. So
they are also put in that position to protect the kids. So it's fucking all around shitty situation, and I just don't. I'm done having these conversations with people that want to talk about all these other things that are not going to fucking happen. So I don't know why we talk about them.
Yeah, I don't know.
At some point, we have to start getting practical here, and
That's
we have
all
to
it is.
start
being realist about
really
stuff.
Being real about this.
Stop falling back on get rid of it, and this will solve it. We need to.
Right.
You need to take action now.
Correct.
Like, it's not even if you started to take them tomorrow. Do you know how long it would take you? We need things done now.
Right. We need to happen now.
Because don't think this doesn't rile up some more freaks. I'm here to tell you.
Correct. And then we didn't even really touch on to go too far deep into the trans thing, because the part about this is, you mentioned a little bit about the some of the laws that are being passed now, because people have had enough. I think people have had enough of the far left radicals and the LGBTQ, and honestly, it's not even really like the LGBs. It's the T and everything else that have made us all fucking crazy. And none of it, their own ideology and the things that they espouse make no fucking sense to anybody, including themselves. That's the reason it changes all the time. I think people are fucking sick of it now. It was one thing whenever it was kind of like they had their own little niche and they had their own little community and they were doing their thing or whatever and they were keeping to themselves.
It was brushed under the rug for a
fine.
little bit.
It's fine. There's subcultures everywhere. Okay, and everybody's got to find their little niche or whatever. But it's whenever it starts to just become mainstream and they're cramming it down our throats. Remember they used to bitch about like Christians cramming their. I've heard that so many times. Like, don't cram your
Christian ideology.
Believe whatever you want to believe. I just want you cramming it down my throat. Well, okay. Well, the other shoe is dropped now. Okay, you're now cramming your crap down everybody else's throat. Okay, now I have a reason to be pissed off. Okay, I think everybody's getting really fucking tired of it. Okay, and so you're seeing politicians getting off their ass and actually responding to people being fucking tired of it. Okay, and so that's the reason why you're seeing laws that are happening in Tennessee. Okay, and it's not targeting any community for genocide or erasure or whatever the fuck they want to talk about. It's literally these laws are like, hey, do what you want to do, but just leave my kid out of it. How about that? Leave my kid out of it.
Kids out of it.
Leave kids out of it. How about that? Can we just admit that whatever your ideology is, let's leave kids out of it. Okay.
I hate the word community.
Let the parents decide this kind of stuff, okay?
Even after all this, I hate the word community.
I know.
I just because it's got a negative connotation. As soon as I hear somebody the community, I'm like, it's that side.
I know.
I can't stand it.
We don't have a sense of community anymore.
No, it's gone. You don't even talk to your fucking neighbors barely
The only time community is brought up is whenever it's basically an activist group.
But I don't like activists either.
But so now these politicians are finally getting off their ass and doing something about it, and they're passing some this stuff is not. It should not be that controversial. But of course, we live in a very politically charged and media lying environment to where everything has to be fucking fire alarm. You know what I mean? Everything has to be cranked to 11. Everything's a fucking crisis. Democracy is over. Every time someone passes a law or does something you don't like, it's the end of the fucking world. Okay? Everybody's getting tired of that kind of stuff. And so in response to that, I was kind of going through Twitter and whatnot and kind of seeing this. We're so reactionary these days. Someone does something and then someone reacts to it and then we react to that and then they react to that. And it's just an endless cycle of fucking everybody just pissed off. Where I noticed that because of these laws, there's now like, because we're pushing back against their ideology, they're like the trans community. There's some groups out there that are like creating like militias.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they're doing like training with rifles. And I think this shooter might have been a part of one because you notice she had the stickers on her guns. Well, I was seeing some other photos of other people that are in these militia groups and activist groups. Mm-hmm. And they had this upcoming event called the Trans Day of Vengeance. Okay.
Sure.
Well, I mean, that should set off some red flags. I'm just saying, might want to look into them a little bit if they're talking about Day of Vengeance and they're carrying weapons. And the thing is here's what's totally absurd about it is they're all pink and blue and it's all
gross.
Stupid.
Gross looking people.
Right. That if they actually went up against, what
is that event
a
called?
Law enforcement officer, a trained person or a fucking trained, a redneck or whatever, they would get smoked.
What is that called?
It was called the Trans Day of Vengeance.
Trans Day of Vengeance.
Yeah, so again, that's what we're seeing now, right? And my thing is like, at what point does it stop? Is it just going to keep escalating like this?
Even Twitter removed stuff about it. So it's here, Trans Day of Vengeance protest takes place after the shooting. A Trans Day of Vengeance rally outside the U.S. Supreme Court this Saturday, just days after the mass shooting.
Still having the fucking rally. Still having a rally outside of the Supreme Court called the Trans Day of Vengeance.
It's being formed by the Trans Radical Activist Network.
That's it. The Trans Radical. And here's the other thing. I read the Trans Radical Network, Trans Activist Radical Network was what it was called, on their Twitter. And they sent out a statement on their Twitter. And I wish I should have saved it. I could have pulled it up and we can read it. But let me just say, go find it. What was the name of the group? You just read it off.
Hold on.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
No, it's the Trans Radical Activist Network.
Trans Radical Activist Network.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the group that I saw on Twitter. They sent out a letter to where they said their basic take was this. There were two tragedies that happened today. Yesterday.
Yeah, let me hear them.
The two tragedies were, of course, they had one couple sentence paragraph about the tragic loss of life with the kids getting shot and the teachers getting shot and everything like that and blah, 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 blah. All right, we've already talked about it. And then it was like 6 paragraphs of all of the woe is me trans bullshit. You know, we're being attacked. We're being genocided. The radical rhetoric from the right is erasing us. And it was just all like, so that was what the fucking letter was about.
Yeah.
Right? They were basically excusing this one of their own going in and shooting up this school. Mm-hmm. Okay? They were making excuses for that person. Mm-hmm. Okay? And saying that it was a tragedy that this person was driven to violence from all of the right-wing hate.
Yeah. To take it out on the children.
It's actually not that person's fault. It's actually me and your fault.
Well, it's our fault.
It's our fault because we disagree with their ideology, and we prefer that they don't cram that ideology on our children and mutilate our children and pump them full of hormones. That we would just, that would be good if you didn't do that, and that we're just vocalizing that now. Mm-hmm. That's quote unquote hate, and that opinion that we just have that maybe we shouldn't do this to kids. And I don't agree. I don't think men can become women and women can become men magically or with a fucking scalpel. That drove this person to shoot up a Catholic school or a Presbyterian school.
Yeah.
Christian school.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually our fault.
Well, of course.
How fucking ridiculous is that?
Not to them.
So if you're associated with that organization, the trans, whatever the fuck, it's got too many damn words. If you're associated with that group, you might want to rethink it.
You should really.
Because that's a trash organization to have that opinion right after a fucking school shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a piece of shit. If you're in that organization, you're a piece of shit. Right up. If you don't get out of that organization, and you're going to stand by that letter that they sent out and their opinion of that, you're a piece of shit. I don't want to know you.
Probably a lot more than you think. And if the people agree with those letters that aren't in those groups,
yeah, dude.
You cannot convince me otherwise.
This shit fucking fires me up with this kind of stuff. I don't know what it is. Like I'm getting like my blood pressure's going up about it.
I have a cup,
and like I want to like take the gloves off at this point. I'm tired of like.
It bothers me up because like there's nothing I can do about it. I want to.
That's the only thing I can do is vocalize it. That's the only thing that I can do because I'm not a piece of shit that's going to go out and like commit violence to get my point across.
Well, no,
you know what I'm saying? But some people do. Right, and that's the problem that we have.
You're getting to a point, you brought it up too, where everybody's sick of it, and eventually it will be met with more violence.
That's what we're all reactionary at this point.
I'm just saying,
we do something, they do something, we do something, they do something.
Your more right side hasn't done.
That's another thing.
Hasn't done the level of violence that your left crazy thinking has done.
Right,
it has not been met.
Right, and this is not a threat. This is not a threat in any way. This is just letting you know. This is some helpful information for your benefit. You do not want to wake that bear. You do not want to wake that bear of average, normal, everyday, red-blooded American males with guns. You start coming for their fucking kids, or the women too. I'm not just the men, but normal people, average, everyday Americans. You start coming for their kids for real. You don't want to fucking wake that at all. You will lose.
Oh yeah, it'd be terrible.
You will lose.
You try another lockdown.
Yeah, try that again.
I mean,
try shutting our schools down again. You'll lose.
Yeah, I like it. And what sucks and what's sad is you would think something like this would bring people together, the general public. You know what I mean? Like we would come together to let's really figure out how we can stop this. You won't. If anything, it just segregates more.
I don't think. The thing is I don't think I've heard people talk about this. I think we have a misconception of people, the normal people on the right and normal people on the left, just average everyday folks. I think they have a misconception that this stuff is happening on the fringes, and if they just ignore it, it'll go away. Mm-mm. It's not going to fucking go away. Okay. And since I am center right, I'm lean right. I think that, and I think I'm correct in this opinion. They started it. When I say they, I'm talking about the radical leftist types have completely taken over our culture. They've taken over our education system. They've taken over fucking our banking system. It seems like these days they've taken over the bureaucracies. Most government positions are held by people that identify with Democrats or the left. Okay, most. They lawyers mostly identify as Democrat. They've completely taken over pretty much every aspect. If it's not 50-50, it's more than 50-50. Like they're like 60-40 or 80-20 or some area sectors. It's like 98-2, right? 98% to 2. It's just a ridiculous amount. So when they talk about how they are, fighting the man and fighting the system, bitch, you are the system.
So who are you fighting? Who
the fuck you own it all already. Your left-leaning temperament and ideology, and including the radicals. And the thing is about the radical part of the left, of the Democrats and the left, is that they have allowed the radicals to mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just over here in the corner doing their crazy radical thing. They've now mainstreamed them. That's a problem. Because on the right has its crazy people too. The fucking ultra-nationalist, racist types, the fucking Aryans and the fucking KKK types or whatever.
Sure.
We got those two on the far right. But we have not mainstreamed them, motherfuckers. We know where they are, and we know they're crazy, and we stay away from them.
They're Proud Boys and stuff. Yeah,
and there's very few of them, right? There's
even we keep an eye on them.
Right, exactly. We keep an eye on them. We know, right? We're not like, saying, hey, you should run for Congress. We're not doing that.
Because we know it's wrong.
Because we know they're fucking pieces of shit, okay? But you guys over there are like, oh, look, you got, a fucking nose ring, blue hair, and you're a woman, you clearly have a dick bulge. Hey, you should run for Congress. Like, that's what they're doing now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah. I see it all the time.
So, my thing is they fucking started it, okay? You do not want us to finish it, okay? So, just back the fuck off. That's my general take with that. Okay?
It's going to be some time.
It's going to be, like I've heard people say, it took us decades to get to this shitty point. It's going to take us decades to get out. None of this shit's going to happen overnight. But what we can do is we can protect our fucking kids. Like, I'm sorry, that seems like the most simplest thing to do.
It is. It's quite simple.
You know what I mean? We left, it would cost, we left more in material in Afghanistan. We left like something like $6-7 billion worth of a military grade equipment in Afghanistan. Okay, we just left it. It's just like we didn't sell it, we didn't make it. We just left it.
Yeah.
So you telling me we can't?
No.
Fucking put a guard at our schools? Give me a break. How many hundreds of billions of dollars have already gone to Ukraine to fight the Russians? Okay, which you can agree or disagree with that, but I'm just saying somehow they find this money.
Oh yeah, if not, they'll just print more.
Right. And that's my thing. They'll just print more. Yeah, is it fucking up our economy?
Yes.
Absolutely. Should they stop doing it? Yes, they
Immediately.
should. But again, just practically speaking, I know they're not going to stop. Right or left, Democrat, Republican, Independent, doesn't matter. They all have a spending habit. All we're doing is just changing the credit card from one idiot's hands to another idiot's hands every 4 years or 8 years or whatever. Okay.
So if you're going to spend it, at least put it on something.
At least put it something towards something that actually makes sense. I know you're not going to stop spending. I know you're not going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, we have to start being practical here and actually like reading the room and understanding the situation and actually trying to make some progress here. Mm-hmm. Stop this with this pie in the sky bullshit. I'm sorry, and I'm talking to the right at this point now. They're not going to stop spending. They're not going to cut benefits. They're not going to start going into entitlements, and they're not going to do it. Okay. The Republicans spend just as much money as the Democrats these days. Mm-hmm. It's not going to fucking happen. Donald Trump spent a gobs amount of money. Okay. Yeah. And then COVID hit and he spent some more, and then Biden was like, hold my beer. Okay. So it's just, the days of fiscal responsibility are fucking over. Okay. It's going to just keep going until we have to hit a reset button at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start doing some practical solutions and stop this pie in the sky bullshit. Gun control ain't happening. We're not fixing the mental health overnight. The border is still going to be a fucking nightmare. It's not going to, with all the drugs coming across, that's not going to happen overnight. Okay? It's going to be slow incremental change for that kind of stuff, and we'll see which way it goes. But one thing we can do is we can protect our schools. It's true.
It is true. It's a fact.
You have to. I don't care what your political affiliation is. What I just said is possible, and we can do it.
Yep. We just won't. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. I don't know.
I think we'll just continue to fight about it. I think people are addicted to it. I think people are addicted to the fight.
I just find I start hearing the argument. I'm like, I just can't listen to you.
I know.
There's nothing you can tell me that I would agree with you. I'm sorry. You cannot justify it to me.
Nope.
My mind is made up.
Mine too.
I'm set in my ways, and I don't care what you have to say.
hardening our schools and putting some actual professionals there to protect it, I will die on this hill.
Oh yeah, I'm on the hill. I'm sitting down. I'm not getting up.
I would challenge you to find any evidence of why that would be a bad idea. And you notice the thing that I didn't mention, we had not mentioned one time, is talking about like arming the teachers, because I can understand how that could go wrong.
That one I'm on the fence about,
yes,
because I don't mind it being voluntary, but you're also asking a lot of responsibility on a teacher that has no.
That's not their job. They're there to teach and to protect the kids.
Now there is some schools that some of their administration does have it, but I mean I don't. You're putting another. You're also. I don't think it's.
Here's a practical reason why this is a bad idea, because the vast majority of teachers are women.
That's correct, and most of them are older.
And a lot of them are older.
I'm not saying an old lady can't handle herself. I'm just saying, like,
the feminists can get all uptight all they fucking want, but it will be harder for a woman to pull the trigger on another human being, much less say if it was like a student they fucking knew because they used to go to that school, come into the front door with a gun. They would hesitate before they took them down. A guy, a lot less likely. Okay, especially a trained professional. So I would rather be a trained professional, okay, male. I'm not going to say women couldn't do it if she was a trained professional, but I don't want teachers to do it. Because just for that reason alone. Vast majority of teachers are women, and they would hesitate.
Hey, not only that, even the men teachers, you got probably have a large majority that don't want to do that.
Even that, because they didn't sign.
They're like, I don't want to do it. I didn't sign up to do this.
Even the ones that are willing to go through training and willing to do that. My thing is that you know this to be true. You could do some training sessions. It's still not the same thing as signing up to be in that role exclusively. You signed up to be a teacher to teach, okay? You didn't sign up to be an armed guard.
Well, it'd be just another fail-safe. It wouldn't be an address. It wouldn't be run to the threat. It'd be more of a stand your ground thing with your students, depending on how the school reacts. Most of the time they lock themselves down. It'd be nice to have in that room, in that space amongst your students. I could see how it would be.
Sure.
It's just another way to address a threat if it becomes in.
Yes.
I could see that, but as far as
mandating it,
I don't think you should mandate it. But if you have a teacher that legally can carry and so I mean it is that I don't have a problem with it myself. I think it would. I'm a carrier.
I think there would be levels.
There would be.
There'll be levels to it.
You
could have a federal level law that says you have to have an armed guard at every school, and then if a state or locality or city wanted to do some additional, I'm fine with that.
It's whatever it takes to make the school safe. But first and foremost, it needs to be reinforced first before you start. I mean, there's other things that can be done before we arm teachers.
Yes, right.
Structurally,
correct.
There's things that can be done that don't require training. It requires time and money.
Yes.
And that's all it is. And we have
armed
both.
Guard number one.
We have both.
Right. Hardening the actual physical aspects of the school with,
It's a building.
It's a building. You can
treat it as such.
Yes.
Treat it as a military base.
Don't make it out of fucking paper mache. Okay,
it can be done.
You know what to do. We know what to do.
Done. There's companies that could be hired to do security consulting and such. It can be done.
It can be done.
It just takes effort and time, and do it.
Yeah, and a lot less time
Stop
than
pussyfooting around, and we talk about what do we need to do next. No, this is what we need to do.
It would take a lot less time, effort, and money than the other solutions that y'all are talking about, because they're not solutions. They're not going to fucking happen. I just don't know how to say it any other way. Give it up. If that's not going to happen. We need to spearhead. Gun control is not going to happen. It's not going to happen to the level to where anybody's going to be satisfied.
No.
All you're going to do is piss off a whole bunch of people, and the school shootings will still happen unless you take them all. And then we'll be back around here talking about people sneaking in and fucking stabbing kids.
I've had a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
I've had a problem at my daughter's daycare to where they've had some issues with some security doors and such, and it's gotten a lot better here lately. And not before this shooting happened, it's gotten better. But there's been times when I've just walked in and I've been like, I've told you, I'm like, y'all need to do something about this. I was like, I've walked in before and seen a teacher doing dishes, and I could easily walk in here and hit you over the top of your head, and I'd be in this building. I said, it's just something people become complacent, and you think it would never happen here.
It could happen anywhere.
This is a nice part of town in Nashville.
Yeah, this is the affluent neighborhood.
That is not a low income area. That is a high income area in a really nice part of town. it can. We're not talking about. We're not talking about a shitty part. This can happen anywhere.
Correct.
And to think that it can't, you're an idiot.
We need more people need to be paying attention. More people need to be concerned. More people need to be active in the security of their school that they send their kids to. But honestly, I don't understand why there isn't more parents just absolutely flooding these school board meetings, demanding the school to be protected. But the thing is what ends up happening is all these activists get in there talking about gun control or mental health on the right side. Everybody starts going into these school board meetings and they flood in and overshadow the parents, the normal people that are saying, we just want them protected. Can we just do that?
Well, this brings up, this whole thing really stems to talking about gun control and bad guys, good guys, whatever. But this is a good opportunity also for people to take a step back and realize, and I've told my wife, it's like, this is a good opportunity for you to look and see shit goes down in broad daylight anywhere. People need to be a lot more reactive on things, and you need to be more aware of your surroundings. And I think everybody should carry a weapon of some kind. Myself, I'm a huge everybody.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I wish everybody was strapped.
Not everybody, not the crazy ones, but
you know exactly what I'm talking about, though. Like good folks.
Yes.
I don't. People always think it's not going to happen here. It can happen. It's happened at churches.
Stay strapped.
Broad daylight. I'm telling you, it is only going to get crazier from here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it.
Look around. Do you think the crazy is going to be less or more as the years go on?
I hope it doesn't. But this could potentially be a hornet nest for that area of people of that type to rile up. I don't know. I hope to God not. But because after watching that, if I was anything thinking of that whole thing, I'd be like, probably won't do it here.
Yeah. But
it's fucked up. It's horrible. I watched the video, the body cam footage a lot, and I watched it was horrible. So, but I hope. I would venture to say that there'll be another one this year. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, odds are there probably will be.
I'm curious to see. Curious to see how the school system in Nashville too, not only, and how we react, how this is going to play out.
The thing is that there may be. I am grateful that I do live in a state that does seem to have some sense.
Tennessee does seem
to have some more sense than other states.
Yep, we do.
So maybe they'll do something to that effect. What we're talking about, I think if people, the smart people, if they were honest with themselves, if you got them off camera, they know that what we're saying is correct.
Yeah.
They know that they can't fix mental health overnight. They know that the gun fucking control thing is not going to fucking happen. And even if it did, it's a Band-Aid fix. They know. They have to. Anybody with a fucking brain can understand that this is the only way to actually do something now that actually will matter. You know what I mean? Instantly. And then that gives us time. That we can focus on if you want to focus on gun control, fine. Can we just do this first? Okay, can we do this first? And then I will have all the conversation you want about gun control. I'll have all the conversation you want about mental health. Mm-hmm. I'll do all those conversations. I'll give you some leeway. We'll make some compromises here and there. Fine. Can we just do this first? That's all I'm saying.
Let's do the easiest thing first. That would be the easiest.
That would be the easiest thing.
How much time we got?
We got 2 minutes.
Fuck.
I know. That was a good one. I got riled up. We didn't really have a whole lot of funny going on.
I will tell you, I did finish. Speaking of guns, I watched Reacher on Prime, season 1. It
was good.
I finished in a day and a half. It's my new man crush.
Is it?
That dude is fucking awesome. That show was great, and he's too damn big.
I just finished season 4 of You. The great show. It's great.
I've never watched it.
They confirmed a season 5.
I've never watched that show.
It's crazy. It's basically like Dexter. But
I've seen a little bit. I've seen a little bit where he has that
killer.
glass box like in the library and shit.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never delved into it.
You should watch it. It's creepy.
I want to watch the Waco series on Netflix.
Oh,
that just
came
cool.
out. Yeah,
it's like a 3-episode thing. The whole largest like combine, that crazy mother bitch, and I want to watch that.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
This was not a lighthearted episode.
This is a lot heavier, but we're very close to that, near that community geographically. I've been there before.
Yeah, we have friends that were actually involved in that community. So
it was a little close to home, so we wanted to focus on that today. So we'll get back to some more lighthearted shenanigans next episode.
This is going to drop too sooner than later, and then we'll probably try to get another one out too this for next week.
Yep. So all right. Peace.
Later.
Send us off.